Hello, everyone. Welcome to Joe Consumes Cinema. I'm your host. The show must go on. And today we have another installment in Joe Revisit series with the 1982 film The King of Comedy. This isn't one that I would say I watch, near as much as the other Robert De Niro films that we have up on the channel. A lot of those I have seen multiple times. Some I've even seen more than 50 times. That's how much I've watched those other films. But I have seen this one before, maybe once or twice. I remember it being quite good, but it's not your typical Robert De Niro role. It's not an action film. Kind of a wacky story, but it has a somewhat serious point at the end, I would say, about this idea of fandom and also pursuing your dreams even to an extreme extent. There's also a psychological aspect to the film that we'll get into later in the, post-reaction discussion. But yeah, it's quite good. And it's been a while since I've seen it, so yeah, this is going to be fun. But as always, please remember to blank, blank, and blank. Channel's doing really well right now. We're actually approaching 4,000 subscribers, which is really cool. So thanks everyone that subscribed. I have a Blue Sky social account, so if you like, feel free to create an account of your own and give me a follow over there, Joe Consume Cinema. We have launched the Joe Consume Cinema Patreon. Every member of my Patreon gets a guaranteed movie request. I have the first season of The Penguin and the first season of Mr. Robot. I am working on Mr. Robot reactions, about an episode per week, week to week, until the entire show is done. Then after that, I will get together, with my patrons and we will discuss what I will watch next. There's the decent beginnings of an archive over there of reactions, and it's really starting to build up. There's a lot of great stuff over there, so if you consider becoming a member of my Patreon, I'd really appreciate it. That support is what allows me to continue running the channel, so yeah, if you consider it, really help me out. I'd really appreciate it. With that, let's get right to the movie.
Say hello to Jerry!
Hey, Rupert, who'd you get?
Nobody.
I got Rodney Dangerfield, Richard Harris. I traded for Barbara.
Just wasting your time.
Yeah, starts off super chaotic. You can tell Robert De Niro is a big fan. That's why he's showing up for the autograph signing or whatever this is. So yeah, that was Sandra Bernhard, someone that's just obsessed with the host, Jerry Langford, played by Jerry Lewis. Yeah, she is crazy in this film.
Jerry, I'm sorry. I don't mean to disturb you. I don't want to take up any of your time. I just want to talk to you for a minute. I just need your
Hey,
advice.
this is not the time.
If we could just drive away, you could drop me off anywhere. If I could just talk to you, I would drive. I'm
Drive
serious.
away?
My name is Rupert Pupkin, and I know the name doesn't mean very much to you, but it means an awful lot to me. By nature, I'm a comedian, Jerry, I'm very good. I'm really good. I'm dynamite. And I wouldn't go through this. I wouldn't take 1 minute of your time if I wasn't absolutely convinced that I'm dynamite. I study everything that you ever did. I studied the way you built your one-liners, nice and relaxed. You see, now I'm ready. And I've finished the course. And I'm thinking as I'm sitting here now, well, maybe this is my big break. What do you think? I'm asking if you listen to my act, that's all. If you listen to my act, then tell me what you think about it.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you call my office? We'll make time to listen to what you're talking about.
You know how many times I had this conversation in my head? This is beautiful.
Did it always turn out this way?
Yeah, it did. Jerry, I'm a little short on cash, but if you don't mind just appetizers, I'd love to take you to dinner sometime.
Well, I got some people waiting for me. I really don't know what my schedule is.
Okay.
Maybe we can.
Jerry, let me show you a picture of my pride and joy.
That's good.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Super high-strung, nervous, but I don't know. He's got an opening.
I really appreciate you meeting me for lunch. I know how busy you are and how tired you are.
What are friends for, Jerry?
I really wish you would think about it again, okay?
You're starting again. All I do is think day and night about it. How can I not think about it? I mean, I've been sitting here at lunch with you, which I knew was the reason you invited me from the first place.
I'm asking you to take over the show for 6 weeks. I mean, what's 6 weeks?
I'll give you anything, but don't ask me to do 6 weeks. I can't take over the show for 6 weeks. I can't even take over my own life for 6 weeks. It's impossible. Don't you
Rupert!
understand? What?
What are you doing down there so late?
It's impossible. I'm trying to tell you that. What do you want? You want the tears to come out of my eyes?
Yeah, we're seeing it. He's playing out these weird scenarios in his head where he's super successful to the point where even Jerry Langford is begging him to, host his show for him to give him a break. So he's got a nice suit on in his little fantasy. People coming up asking him for an autograph, ignoring Jerry like he's not even there. Yeah, it's going to happen throughout the film.
Who are you talking to?
you give me an answer?
All right, you got the 6 weeks. I'll give you the 6 weeks.
You're looking as beautiful as ever, Rita.
Here I am, local cheerleader makes good.
Woody Allen, he's a very nice guy. He's a personal friend of mine.
Of course he is.
No, he is. That's Ernie Kovacs. He was wonderful. That's Rupert Pupkin. Take this as a gift. You know who I was talking to? Guess.
Your shrink?
That's very funny. D. Jerry Langford. He gave me the go-ahead, Rita. Would you believe it? And you know what? Don't tell anyone yet, but you're looking at the new king of comedy. A comedy show of my own. The Rupert Pupkin Show. Everything. And all that leads in one direction, Rita. Here I am offering you a way out. Rita, every king needs a queen. I want you to be mine.
You see that Rupert lives his life in, a fantasy world that he's created for himself. He's not dangerous or anything like that, but it's clearly unhealthy.
What if I set something up between me, you, and Jerry? What if we went out to dinner one night? What do you think? We'll go to his summer house for a weekend.
He wouldn't want to meet me.
That's not true. Good seeing you. Gerald, good seeing you. Jerry, don't get up. Right? Yeah. I'm at my office, and the number is JL54321. Don't mind, I am waiting for a phone call. It'll only take a few minutes, but I have to wait for it. Don't work.
He's waiting for a call from Jerry. It's never gonna come, dude.
Pumpkin. Rupert Pumpkin.
Rupert.
Pupkin, P-U-P-K-I-N.
There's a man here by the name of Rupert Pumpkin. Oh, wants to see Mr. Langford. I'm sorry, Mr. Pumpkin, but Mr. Langford's secretary has no record of your appointment.
He did ask me to call him personally, and I was in the neighborhood. I thought I'd just stop up. Is that cork?
I don't know what it is. So much for stopping.
Jerry and I went over all this last night.
Does Jerry know you would?
Yes, I don't think he does.
Do you have a tape or something I could listen to?
A tape? Oh, naturally.
Wait, what happened last night in the car? Did Jerry say anything?
Nothing
Did
happened.
he talk about me?
No, he didn't talk about you. He talked about me, as a matter of fact. Schmucko Supremo last night.
Hold on a minute. I'm the schmuck. Me.
No,
You're
you're
wrong,
really
buddy.
crazy.
You're very wrong.
Jerry and I have a real relationship going, you know what I mean? No fantasy world, you know what I'm talking about? And after what you did last night, I don't even want to see you anymore, you hear? I don't want to see you, bye.
Two obsessed fans. Her character is more obsessed with Jerry for romantic reasons. Rupert Pupkin just wants to use him to, launch his career.
And the comedy find of the year, making his television debut, Rupert Pupkin, the new king of comedy.
Rupert! Are
Hello.
you crazy?
Say
What's
hello
the matter
to
with you?
Mom.
Full of sleeping. Lower it.
Mom!
Take it easy. Lower it.
I'm not gonna lower it. I have to do this now.
That's Scorsese's mom again. Yeah, he needs to believe this so strongly that he's this great comedian, everybody loves him. It's just, circumstance that has prevented him from achieving the top spot that he feels is rightly his. It's part of the delusion.
Mr. Pipkin.
Pupkin, thank you very much. When Jerry finds a moment, good. Thank you. When will that be?
Try me tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, we might know something by then. Otherwise, Monday.
Monday? What I do is just wait here a while. Maybe Jerry will find a minute.
Mr. Pupkin, you're really just wasting your time. We're not going to know anything until tomorrow at the earliest.
That's really all right. I don't mind. I'm not wasting my time. I'm glad to do it.
Why don't you try me tomorrow afternoon for sure?
Tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
What time tomorrow?
4:30.
4:30. I'll be here.
You've got it. From what I've heard here, yeah, you've got it. I just don't know how you do it.
Another fantasy.
I hate you, but I envy you because it's purity, it's marvelous, it's humor based on you. No one else could do it but you.
I wouldn't lie to you, Roop. Now look, this weekend would be a perfect time for you to come out to the house.
I ordered the Self-Sign magazine for you. You're just wonderful. I've watched you your entire career. He's in the hospital.
I'm
and
sorry, I'm
anything
late.
that- You should only get cancer. I hope you get cancer.
He's a super celebrity, dude. He cannot go anywhere without people, basically mobbing him. He's got stalkers galore, especially this chick. Better run, dude. Yep. Get going. Oh, God.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Not bad.
Good, good. I'm fine.
Can I help you?
Pupkin? Rupert Pupkin?
Mr. Podkin is here. That's right.
I love how the secretary keeps saying his last name wrong.
George Cap, my high school principal. He used to fail me all the time. What do you have him on the show for? He's an enemy.
Only because you deserved it.
Oh, thank you.
Would you, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, like to see the king of comedy marry his queen right here on the show?
I can't believe it. I don't know what to say.
Before the entire nation, we'd like to apologize to you personally and to beg your forgiveness for all the things we did to you.
It's funny, but it's also sad at the same time.
Don't think I'm ready.
We just don't feel that right now you're right for Jerry.
Right for Jerry.
Some of the material, some of it is good.
Yes.
But some of it, some of the one-liners, for instance, are not very strong.
Like some of the jokes. Is that it?
That's right.
Good, good. I can take care of that right away.
But we feel you should keep developing your
Yes.
act. You ought to test it in a few live situations. I think that'd be very good for you.
Are you speaking for Jerry?
Yes, I am.
You are.
I am, and he has complete faith in our judgment.
Well, I'm sorry to have to say this, Miss Long, and I certainly don't want you to take it personally, but I have to tell you I don't. When will Jerry be back?
Mr. Langford won't be in until very late this afternoon. Mr. Puppian, we mean what we say when we thank you for stopping up. And we mean it when we tell you that you can call us when you start working, all right? Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Just not leaving. Oh, my God.
Would you mind waiting outside, Mr. Pupnik? This is a reception area, not a waiting room. Yeah, but he won't go.
What's his name?
Rupert Pumpkin.
Waiting for Jerry. It's personal.
We'll talk about that outside. Please, sir, take your...
I know he's expecting me.
Listen, we'll talk about that outside. Please take your bag.
Get the point, except...
Please, Mr. Puffer, please.
Oh, after you, then.
After you, sir, please.
Mr. Puffer.
Saw him go in myself.
Who?
Jerry! He's up there right now. You want to see him?
Well, darling, that's impossible because they assured me that he was out. They told me already.
You're so naive. I would expect that from you.
Oh, boy.
Would you tell Jerry I'm here to see him,
I'm
please?
sorry, sir, he's not in.
I happen to know that he is. Would you
I'm
tell him
sorry,
I'm here, please?
He's not in.
Okay, you're putting your job on the line, lady.
Mr. Pumpkin, what are you doing here?
Hold on. Right. Listen, huh? Jerry. Nobody's gonna help you.
Yeah, you just got thrown out of the building. When are you going to get to the
I didn't get thrown out of the building. I didn't get... Wait. I didn't get thrown out of the building.
You're
I was
a
talking...
constant embarrassment.
They walked me outside.
Oh, God. Dragging Rita to this is just... It's cruel. If he wants to delude himself, that's one thing, but dragging other people into it is pretty damn mean.
My name is Rupert Pupkin, and this is Rita Keene. Would you let Jerry know that we're here, please? Mr. Langford asked you to come? Oh, no. We just thought we'd drop in uninvited for the weekend.
Dear couple over here, his name is Pumpkin. Pumpkin, yes. Do you know the Pumpkin? And here I'm getting a heart attack already.
What's your pleasure, Jerry?
Mr. Langford, I told them you were not here.
That's right, he did.
No, I could have the both of you arrested.
You could have us arrested. Well, of course you could have us arrested. I mean, there's no way that we can prove that we belong here. He comes up with an idea. He's terrific. Really, I never thought of that.
You should have.
Did anyone ever tell you you're a moron?
You know, Jerry, I want to tell you something. Ordinarily, I wouldn't allow anybody to speak that way about Rita. He's a real character.
Rupert, he's saying he wants us to go.
No, he's not saying that. Jerry, tell her that. You're not saying that.
I just want you to
Tell her
know
she's
that
wrong,
I don't
Jerry,
know
please.
anything about this.
Would you
I don't even know
tell her
this
she's
guy.
wrong?
I haven't
Listen,
seen him
tell
in
her she's
years.
wrong.
He told me you were friends.
Tell her she's wrong.
Just take your things and go.
All right, I can take a hint, Jerry. I just want to ask you to listen to my stuff for 15 minutes. That's all. Is that asking too much?
Yes, it is. I have a life, okay?
It is when you tell me to call you and then you don't...
I told you to call to get rid of you.
To get rid of me?
That's right.
Okay. All right, I can take a hint.
If I didn't tell you that, we'd still be standing on the steps at my apartment.
Made a mistake.
So did Hitler.
And Jerry, I just want to say one more thing, Jerry. I'm glad what you did to me today. You know that? Because now I know I can't rely on anybody.
Here we got the Bonnie and Clyde routine. Two stalkers teaming up.
Wait
Bye, Jerry.
Drops the fake gun.
Bert Thomas, please. Jerry Langford. They hung up. Audrey, this is Jerry Langford. Get Bert Thomas on the phone, and quickly.
Martino, I know it's you, and I'm much too busy for fun and games today. Goodbye.
Did you hear what I said? This is Jerry Langford. Now get Bert Thomas, and I'm not kidding. It's not a gag. It's serious. I have a gun at my head. If a man who identifies himself as the king you got a blank card. Tonight's show will never see me go back alive again.
Why didn't you just listen to the tape when I asked you to? I mean, it wasn't that hard, was it?
You
I have something to say to him.
You've got more than enough to say. You're driving me nuts.
Just a
Can you
minute.
be quiet for one goddamn minute and let me rest
a
with this
minute.
gun?
I won't press charges. You know, you two can be in deep trouble, but I will not press charges. I mean, I'll go to the office and tell them all it's a gag. They'll understand that. If I tell them it's a gag, they're going to buy it.
Once you get to his office and they jump you, that's what happens.
Because all we're dealing with here, after all, is 10 minutes of talk show time against a man's life, and I don't see that as any argument.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is so fucking crazy.
Crystal, beautiful. I bought them just for you. I don't know, there's something about them that remind me of just the simplicity of them. But if you don't like them, if there's even an inkling, even a doubt in your mind, and I just have like these daydreams, like, you know, I'm out with you at the golf course, driving your cart, just driving around. But I love you. Want some wine? God, you know what? I wish I was tonight. I wish I was Tina Turner.
What are you doing here, Mr. Pupkin?
I'm the king. I think you're expecting me?
There it is.
Happy together.
I'd like to see someone from the show first.
Well, I'm telling you, you won't see someone unless you tell us where Langford is.
Well, then Jerry Langford is dead.
Get Thomas.
I abducted him.
You abducted him?
Yes.
Do you know where Mr. Langford is right now?
Yes, I do.
Will you lead us to Mr. Langford?
No, I won't.
There's our boy Scorsese.
Your warmest greetings to the newest king of comedy, Rupert Pupkin.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rupert Pupkin.
Marcia, take the tape off.
Really?
I just want to see it in this other place, and once I see it, that's it. I'll give you Langford.
You all right?
I'm fine.
I know you.
He's destined for greatness in one way or another. Rupert Pupkin.
Why Jerry isn't with us tonight? Well, I'll tell you. The fact is he's tied up. And I'm the one who tied him. Well, I know you think I'm joking, but believe me, that's the only way I could break into show business. By hijacking Jerry Langford. Now, tomorrow you'll know that I wasn't kidding and you'll think I was crazy. I figure it this way. Better to be king for a night than schmuck for a lifetime.
That's good. The funniest part that the audience responded to was the part that's actually true. Oh, God.
Just because I made it big doesn't mean I'm going to forget about it.
Come on.
I happen to disagree with you. I thought they were very good jokes.
Rupert Pupkin's performance has been viewed by a record 87 million American households.
Rupert Pupkin, the kidnapping king of comedy.
Rupert Pupkin told a gathering of reporters that he still considers Jerry Langford his friend and mentor, spending his time writing his memoirs, which have been purchased by a leading New York publishing house for in excess of $1 million.
Released today from Allenwood after serving 2 years and 9 months of a 6-year sentence.
Only king of comedy, ladies and gentlemen, Rupert Pupkin. Rupert Pupkin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for Rupert Pupkin.
Okay, took some time just to gather my thoughts. So that was The King of Comedy. It was very good. I haven't seen it in a long time, but yeah, I think it's actually better than I remember it, honestly, because it's been a very, very long time that I've seen it. And like I said, a lot of the Robert De Niro films on the channel thus far, I've seen them multiple times. This one, it's been such a long time, a lot of the details weren't fresh in my memory. So you've got Rupert Pupkin, who's dreamer, stuck in Fantasyland. That's how he lives his life. He's obsessed with Jerry Langford and celebrities. He's got that book with all their autographs in it. And he's a struggling comedian because he's not good at all. None of his jokes were good that he actually used on what became his first and only television appearance. He's very delusional as a character. And you see throughout the film, he will face rejection or setback or whatever it is. He imagines these scenarios where everything is going his way. Like, he's already made it, he's already successful, and all these big shots are, looking to him for help. It's humorous throughout, but part of it is also very sad. I think probably the saddest part is when he has that one delusion where he's on Jerry's show as a guest, and they break into an impromptu wedding between he and Rita. The guy who's marrying them is like his principal or whatever, and he just wants to issue a public apology saying that all of them were wrong and he was right, and it's very just a little person that feels squashed by reality, just retreating into daydreams and fantasy because it's a coping mechanism and he doesn't really have any other choice. Like, how could he get on with his life if he didn't have this, honestly, because he's got nothing going for him. Robert De Niro was great. It's just a super frenetic, energetic performance, and it's like no matter what gets thrown in his way, he just, rolls with the punches and just works with it. And it's honestly a very admirable quality. He's taken it to this extreme place that is unforgivable and, while humorous, sad at times, and very concerning for the individual, I would say. You have the character of Jerry Langford, played by Jerry Lewis, who's a very famous comedian, but honestly, the funniest parts from him are when he's just stone-faced dealing with Rupert and Marcia. For her, it's the romantic connection with Jerry Langford, and for Rupert, it's the idea that he can use him to launch his comedy career. When he's dealing with Jerry and Rita at his place, they show up unannounced. He did not invite them. He's just staring at them. He knows at this point that this Rupert guy is this obsessed maniac who's never going to go away. He just tells him straight up. He only agreed to take a phone call because he was just trying to get rid of him in the moment. And this is like the first time that Rupert gets, slapped in the face with reality. He still tries to deny it or, play it off. Like, that's not what he's saying. He's not asking us to leave. He wouldn't say that. Like, it's a psychosis. I think a lot of people daydream a little bit. He takes it to a very unhealthy place and it just keeps happening throughout. But like I said, Jerry Lewis is great in this because he's a very famous comedian, but the funniest parts for him are when he's just stone-faced. The funniest part is when he's all wrapped up in the tape and he's got, that crazy Marcia lady just like spouting off her entire life. He's just sitting there stone-faced, like just staring at her. Finally comes up with a plan. I guess my only option here is to buy into the act, so he says, Marcia, cut the tape off. Like he's actually interested in her romantically, and as soon as she does that, he grabs the gun, immediately realizes it's a cap gun. Takes a few shots at her and then, backs her up against that wall. And she's like, Jerry, you look really mad. And then, slaps her as hard as he can and then just runs for his life. Marcia, played by Sandra Bernhard, she was just like an obsessive fan. They both were, but it's hard to believe that someone could actually outdo Rupert in that area of obsessing over Jerry, but she really did it, and yeah. So Rupert comes up with this cockamamie whole plan to kidnap Jerry, and this is his way of getting on the show. He does his act, and like I said, the jokes are not funny. The only real genuine laughs I feel like he gets are when he announces to the audience that the reason that Jerry isn't here is because he kidnapped him. He's got him tied up literally as he's talking, and the audience doesn't buy it. They laugh even harder. And he's like, no, I'm being serious. You'll all know the truth tomorrow after, this goes on the news. But you'll probably think I'm crazy, but I've decided that it's better to be king for a night than, a schmuck for his entire life. And that was him being very honest in the moment, and that's really how he feels. The character Rupert Pupkin constantly, bounces back and forth between real life and his daydreams. So the ending there, where he goes to jail, but he becomes a hit sensation because of what he did, the comedian kidnapper. His life story gets turned into a memoir. It becomes a bestseller. And after he gets out of prison, he immediately gets his own show. He's finally made it, but he's done it in a way that is all of his own doing. The audience is left questioning, whether or not that's true. Here's the crazy thing is that's actually somewhat believable. You've had people that have committed murder, gotten away with it, and, written books about how they did it. A true crime confessional. As crazy as that is, it has happened. So I don't know. I personally lean towards more him just, giving us one last fantasy. Honestly, it could have happened. If this story were actually true and someone really kidnapped a famous TV show host and used that as leverage to get a spot on a TV show and, the story broke and they became a hit sensation, all that's believable. And it's even believable that, he got out eventually because he did kidnap Jerry, but like I said, he retreats into fantasy, but I don't think he's someone that's dangerous per se. He's not violent. Ultimately, Jerry, he's pissed off. He's not happy about having to experience all that bullshit, but he's not really worse for the wear. You saw as he was running away, he stops and sees that Rupert actually did it, got on his TV show. He's just stone-faced again watching this guy who, honestly, I think in that moment he was a little impressed, honestly. The question left for the audience is whether or not that's actually happened or not, and it's kind of up to the individual. I've seen good arguments for and against it, and honestly, I would lean towards more it being fantasy, but nothing in that is really unbelievable, I would say. As crazy as that sounds, I really do think that's true. But yeah, I hear people talk about this film as Robert De Niro's best performance, and I don't personally agree with that, but it is very solid. I would say it's almost like a one-man show. You have Jerry Lewis, you have Sandra Bernhard, and some other, minor actors, but it's really Robert De Niro, selling the movie. His performance is the heart and soul of it. Rupert Pupkin, probably the funniest running gag for me is that they never can get his name right. Pumpkin, Pushkin, Puffer, whatever it is. They only get his name right after he kidnaps someone. But yeah, I understand why people say that they think it is Robert De Niro's best performance. I personally don't agree, but it is really solid, and he's doing the heavy lifting in the movie, and it makes sense. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. One for the books for sure. Glad I finally have this one up, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So as always, thanks for watching, and peace.